Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. This is Reservations, and I'm Rain Whalen.
And I killed John Benet Ramsey.
Jesus Christ! You know, I want to say you did something like that a couple years ago, and I think you paid off the joke. I want to say you said you didn't, and now you...
Yeah.
Or something like, I didn't have anything to do. Oh my god, that's awesome.
I knew that would make you laugh, so.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm gonna have to tell Ashley when we're done. That's so fucking good. Oh my god. You know, and I made a joke like that at work. No, not at work, because I really gauged my audience. But I said something about John Benet Ramsey. I think it was in front of Mom, and she was like, "Rain." I'm like, wow, shit. Like, look, it was something that happened almost over 40 years ago. Like,
yeah, like,
no, 30. I can't do math. Over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, moms just don't get it, you know? That's okay.
dude, she's gonna listen. I mean, she's behind, but she's gonna get to this episode and she's gonna be like, what the fuck?
She'll text me probably.
Yeah, last time she said what episode she was on, I think she had just gotten to our Kronos episode.
Okay.
So she's behind. Yeah.
Well, it's not like they're not serialized, so you can bounce around if you want. That's
true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we break them up into seasons, but I mean, especially once I fix the lost episodes, yeah, it's gonna say that they're brand new, even though they're technically a part of previous seasons. But dude, that was so good. So welcome back, everyone. So I have a story for you, bud. I mean, I kind of told it towards the end of last year, which is now crazy to say because January's almost over. I told you the saga of how for a Christmas gift, Ashley got me the Green Knight soundtrack that I already had.
Yeah.
And thankfully A24 was able to let me exchange it. Which for your knowledge, that way you can know this too. If you ever try to exchange something with A24, I hate to say it, it's a little cumbersome because they don't do returns. And you have to do it within 30 days of your purchase, which is normal, but it's very cumbersome. And unfortunately, you have to pay for shipping. So like when they agreed to let me ship back that record, they're like, yeah, just ship it back here. And I'm like, you're not going to give me a return shipping label? So I had to pay to ship it back, but I was able to ask them for the record I wanted, which was the I Saw the TV Glow soundtrack.
Nice.
And it came in, and I was a little worried because we've been having a lot of issues lately with the postal service. We don't know if they're just losing our packages and then saying they're delivered, or if they are putting them in a parcel locker and then putting the key in the wrong mailbox or something.
Yeah.
Which is probably the case because I got our neighbor's W-9 or W-2. I got his tax. Thankfully, I didn't open it because that's illegal, but I saw his name and I was like, oh shit. We need to get this to him. But so it's probably the case. So I was a little nervous when A24 emailed me and they're like, all right, great, we've shipped you the I Saw a TV Glow soundtrack. You should get it pretty soon. I'm like, awesome. And then I got the tracking and I was like, oh shit, it's USB as fuck. But here's the crazy thing. They put it in the right mailbox. So
good.
I don't know. But dude, it's so gorgeous, man. Like the gatefold has like this really sort of matte finish to it that I really like. But then on the back, you know, it's got Mr. Moon, and then all the artists that are featured on it are glossed, so you can actually feel it. Like,
that's cool,
dude. It's such a gorgeous like setup
Yeah.
And then the disc itself is that clear purple. Oh, it's so gorgeous.
So cool. Yeah.
And I told Mom, and she was like, "That movie was weird." I'm like, "Yeah, but good."
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, yeah, no, I know I texted you pictures, but dude,
It was awesome.
I'm,
Yeah, I was that was rad.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I guess they packaged it upside down. So when I opened it, I saw the back of it first. And I don't know if you've seen on the A24 website, but they have like an anniversary edition of the soundtrack.
Oh.
And I kind of was like, oh shit, did they send me the anniversary version? No, it's the regular version. But
That's fine.
that
I
would
mean,
have been cool.
it looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to A24. Again, guys, I'm going to be honest. It was a little cumbersome trying to get this exchanged, but you know what? I'm glad you guys honored it. I didn't have to pay for it except for shipping. So, yeah, shout out to A24.
Yeah.
So, buddy, how have y'all been dealing with the freeze right now?
I mean,
For our non-listeners from Texas, Texas is partially frozen over right now.
Yeah. No, we've been doing okay. No power outages. So,
That's good.
so as we were talking about off mic, because I married a very frugal woman. She's also a very proficient prepper. So we had everything we could possibly need if the power went out. And we didn't have to use it, so we can use it for something else later on. But
Nice.
yeah, what did we do? We watched a lot of episodes of Agents of Shield.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are y'all at now?
We're gearing up to be on the tail end of season 3. Spoilers for because I need to tell them where we are. So spoilers for Agents of Shield. But Ward is dead, and he's inhabited by that alien being right now. Yeah, and Powers Booth is now starting to realize that he's no longer in charge, right? So that's where we're at now. So yeah, I think Ghost Rider comes in maybe next season, so I'm excited about that. But we got to get there first. So we got to see what's going to happen with this alien guy.
Yeah.
Once you get past that, it's not really connecting to movies anymore. It's like I don't even think of it as Marvel anymore. It's just like a really interesting sci-fi show. And it's super entertaining and it's a lot of fun. So I recommend people giving it a shot. Tons of episodes.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, like I mentioned, Dad and I used to watch it, but I just kind of fell behind. And then I was kind of like, because season 1 was clearly meant to tie into the movies, but then after that, they kind of went their own way, and I think in a good way. But my little pea brain at this time was like, not connecting to the movies anymore, man. Like, why would I want to watch it?
Sure.
But I have heard that as the show goes on, it gets progressively better. Being free from the movies, because they can again kind of chart their own course as a show.
Do whatever. Yeah.
And kind of what I was mentioning to you off mic is Ashley and I have pretty much done nothing all weekend. We also prepped in case we lost power, but not the smartest. So we went and got food that doesn't require power, or it doesn't need power to be made, and we got everything that requires something that involves something. Like we were like, oh, mac and cheese cups, those would be perfect. They're shelf stable. Yeah. Well, you have to make those in the microwave.
Yeah.
And then we were like, yeah, we'll get ramen. Ramen's super easy to make. If I'm going to be a heathen, yeah, I'll make it in the microwave, but I make it on the stovetop, like a true intellectual.
Of course.
And I even told Ashley that. I was like, we got all the shelf stable stuff. all of it requires power. And she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Whoops.
know. But thankfully, we have not lost power.
Yeah.
And, we're kind of on the tail end of this anyway. So, but cool, man. Yeah. Ashley was kind of worried about you guys. She was like, have you texted Jeremy? Like, are they good? I'm like, I'm sure they are, but I'll text him right now.
Yeah.
I'll make sure they're fine.
Yeah. No,
I
we're
was like, he probably would have
Did you?
told me if they lost power.
Oh, I would have been so upset too because um on our devices we had downloaded stuff like for Maya and for us to watch, just in case, right? We lost power, and I was trying to download stuff for like me, right? Like if they wanted to like take a nap or whatever, like, and I wanted to watch stuff, and there wasn't enough room for my stuff, you know. So I would have been so upset if we had lost power because I was trying to download Twilight Zone episodes or whatever, and like, yeah,
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad y'all didn't lose power.
no,
It seems like it didn't affect as many people this time, which was good,
yeah,
not compared to, which is crazy that this was over now almost 4 years ago when we had the really bad freeze.
yeah.
But yeah. Well, again, welcome back, everyone. Dude, I think we got to become a Bruce Lee podcast now because these episodes are crushing right now.
Really, for real?
Yeah, dude. So the Big Boss right now is sitting at 84 views. Fist of Fury is sitting at 110 views.
110 views.
110 views here, and let me confirm that. Yeah, 110 views. That's crazy, dude.
That's nuts.
So, so we're a Bruce Lee podcast now.
Cool.
That's all we can do now is just Bruce Lee movies.
I guess after this, we'll have to
Definitely,
like
I
do
would
Green
say,
Hornet episodes, I guess, because we're running out of movies
dude.
here, guys.
I know, man. Yeah, movies where he's definitely the star.
Yeah.
He was in a ton of stuff where he wasn't the star, but still. Dude, I'd be down to watch the original Green Hornet because I've seen that Seth Rogen movie.
Oh yeah, so did I. I saw it. I think maybe even in
It's
theaters when it came out.
it's I don't even want to say it's fine. It is,
No, it was just
like,
it was bad. Like I didn't enjoy it. Like I remember being very bored by it. If I'm being honest.
well, and again, I think that's a testament to now Seth being really good about the decisions he's making in the films he's in and stuff he's attached to. But anyway, well, all that to say, everyone, thank you for actually watching these episodes. That's so cool.
Definitely.
Continuing with our end of season series, again, because we said that the other two episodes that we've said that this is the series, we are doing Bruce Lee's next big movie, which did better than The Big Boss and Fist of Fury combined, I think, with 1973's The Way of the Dragon. And dude, I gotta say, I can see why, again, it seems like each movie has just progressively gotten better.
I agree.
And I would say, like, with this one, especially with this being Bruce's one and only time directing a film, writing a film, and starring in it all at the same time, I truly think he knocked it out of the park.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll get into it later because I learned some stuff about his perfectionism with the film. But I think it's a great film. And a beardless Chuck Norris is terrifying, I should say. It was so kind of scary to see. I was like, oh God.
Is it weird that I wanted to touch his hair because it looks so silky and so soft, like his hair? Like I was mesmerized by it. The haircut was insane. The bowl cut was nuts.
Yeah, very like Lou Ferrigno Incredible Hulk.
Oh, I fucking hated the haircut. But but overall, I mean, it was like, dude, this movie's rad, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and here's what's so funny. So, you know how, throughout this series, you've been watching it in its original Mandarin.
Yeah.
And me, I've been watching the dubbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the night we watched it, it was the night that it was sleeting super hard, and so like sleet was hitting the window, the heater would come on a bunch, and so it would blow really loud, and then like Maya would struggle to get to sleep, and so she would make a noise, and so I had to turn on captions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here's how it works if you're watching the audio for the English dub with
Uh-huh.
captions, okay? So, number one, captions do not come on if the scene is in English, okay?
Yeah.
So, if the scene was meant to be in English, there are no captions. So, that was fun. So, that was kind of hard to hear. But it's captioning not the dub, but like the original intended uh and so I kind of got your experience with my experience because I'm reading it and I go, that's not what they said. you know, uh, it's close,
Yeah.
but it's not quite right. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that too because there's some stuff I will there's a reason for that, I believe. Um but that being said, everyone, also I should mention I fucked up. The movie came out in 1972, not 1973, 1972.
1972.
Yes, but with that being said, let me run through the synopsis real quick. So, The Way of the Dragon. Um, again, written, directed, and starring Bruce Lee. He stars as a martial artist from Hong Kong named, and I'll try to get it right because this name isn't too hard as compared to his other characters. Uh, Tang Lung. He is kind of hired by a friend who asks him to go to Rome to help his niece with her restaurant in Rome. That because it is been the target of organized crime, and the crime boss wants them out so he can buy the property. Very, very kind of like traditional mob stuff. Like, we want that property, we want you
Right.
out, and we'll get you out one way or the other. So Tong assures Chen, the owner of the restaurant, that he can handle this, and he apparently can. He repeatedly kicks all these goons' ass, and really proves that, like, hey, I'm reliable, I'm dependable. Because Chen has some trepidation because she's never met Tong, and she doesn't know why her uncle asked him to help. But it becomes apparent very quickly that she's like, okay, yeah, I understand why. Excuse me. My uncle sent you. Well, the crime boss, of course, as we've learned in the other two movies we've done in the series, they don't take too kindly to Bruce Lee stepping in and preventing them from getting this property. So the crime boss, keeps trying and trying, finally deciding to call in a favor from an American martial artist named Colt, played again by a beardless Chuck Norris. And they lure Tung and some of the other employees of the restaurant away. And that's where it's revealed that the other owner, which I guess is Chen's other uncle, has been wanting them to take the restaurant because he is just unhappy with how he's been working all his life and he wants to live comfortably. Tung and Colt have this fucking awesome 10-minute fight, where Tung reluctantly has to kill Colt because Colt won't go down unless he kills him. And at the last second, when it kind of feels like all hope is lost because the crime boss has Tongue cornered, Chin shows up with the Roman police and saves the day. And that's the way of the dragon. I wanted to mention now, I really liked the comedy of the movie.
Yeah.
We saw a little bit of that in last week's episode in Fist of Fury, of Bruce kind of doing his best Jerry Lewis impression.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he was really kind of getting to play a little bit more. Maybe that's the benefit of being both the writer and director, is that he gets to play a little bit more and be a little bit more silly and a little bit more comedic. And I would have loved to see, had he not passed away so young, I would have loved to see what Bruce Lee would have done in like a setting like Rush Hour, for example.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I think he would have killed it. But yeah, the comedy was, I think we can agree that in the 70s, a lot of films that were comedic, a lot of the jokes maybe felt put upon or kind of forced. I didn't feel like the jokes were very forced. It did just very much feel like Bruce was leaning into the sort of fish out of water that Tongue is, especially in that first half of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I also liked that. So in Fist of Fury, we are being introduced to Bruce Lee as a leading man and as a action star, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're building that anticipation to find out who this guy is and what he can do, right? In this one, we know who he is, right? As an audience, we are familiar with who Bruce Lee is. So now he's truly building tension and anticipation because we know what he can do, right? And so he doesn't fight for like the first 30 minutes,
Yeah.
And then of course once it's on, it's like amazing, right? I mean, he pulls out
Yeah.
2 nunchucks, right? And we're like, here we go.
Yeah.
This is so rad, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I really appreciated in this one is in the opening credit sequence,
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Lee's not just going to tell you, hey, here's who's in this movie. He's going to tell you why they're in this movie, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I love the stats because he's, what was it for Chuck Norris? It was like 17, national karate championships, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it says before his name, like a 17-time national world champion, karate champion, Chuck Norris, right?
Yeah.
And and he does that with a few other people, and it's like I like that he's saying I picked these people because they're the best, right? I picked
Mm-hmm.
these people because they know what they're doing, and now they know what they're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like he's not picking these people for any sort of vanity reasons or Hollywood pressure or like they look good on camera or whatever. Like he's picking them because they do what he needs them to do, and I think that's super super cool, right? And Chuck Norris, man, it's just so cool. And it was funny because I was talking to Haley on the couch, and I was like, man, he is really hairy. It's like
Yeah.
distracting, right? But and
Yeah.
almost as soon as I say it, Bruce Lee uses it to his advantage, right? Pulling on his chest hair. I was like, oh, and then I was like, that's kind of gross, And and I thought it was so funny because like it's like Bruce Lee is aware of what the audience is going to think, right? He is putting himself in the chairs of the audience that are going to see this movie, and what are they going to expect or what are they thinking, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's part of the reason why he put those stats in the opening credits. Like, who is this guy? Or
Mm-hmm.
like, what? Who cares? And it's like, here's why.
Yeah. What
I
I
thought it was
also learned, that apparently, in one of the supplements on the actual disc of The Way of the Dragon on Criterion, um, apparently Bruce kind of liked to actually hit his co-stars,
oh boy.
like for the scene. And so if he hires an actual martial artist, then yeah, of course he's still going to pull his punch a little bit, but it's like, hey, I can actually hit you and you're going to know what to do.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's also, really, really interesting. But again, I agree. It's because he really wants to make sure the audience knows, like, hey, yeah, these people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm going to have some guys that may have some, some subtle martial arts training, but like these people, yeah, they know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it's so rad. And yeah, dude, I was like, beardless Chuck Norris. And then when he takes off his gi, I was like, oh dear God.
My
And it wasn't the chest hair that bothered me. It was the shoulder
the shoulder
hair.
back hair. Yeah.
Oh, dude. I was like,
It was
like,
aggressive.
I was like, I know it's the 70s right now, hair, men being hairy is like all the rage, but like Chuck, like
Yeah, it was aggressive.
you gotta tame that up, man. Um but um but okay. And something else you said during the sort of like the opening title of like no Hollywood pressure. That's 100% true because, yeah, by this point Bruce had really garnered international fame, but he was so big in Hong Kong um that his goal, which this is sort of a pre-tease before the teaser, his goal was that The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, and this film would make Hollywood come calling.
Mm-hmm.
And spoiler alert again for the tease at the end of the episode, it did.
Yeah.
But you're right. He chose the best people he thought for the job, and didn't care. Like, okay, well, Chuck's American. This actor's Japanese, but like they're the best of the best, and I want them.
Yeah.
And it adds almost sort of a layer of realism to the film as well. I mean, I will say, unlike Big Boss and Fist of Fury, there was nothing really out of the realm. Like, no more cartoon cutouts in the wall anymore.
Right.
I would say the most quote unquote unrealistic things is his precision with those handmade darts he made.
Sure.
To like how is he that precise that he nails them in the hand every time?
Well, like I don't know, man, because like he can do push-ups on his pinkies. You know what I mean? Like
That's
he
true.
can do shit that's wild. Here's the okay. So the story is kind of silly, right? I mean, if this movie, like Roger Ebert's review, he said if this movie had been shot and directed in a serious way, it would be unwatchable. Like it'd be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. So that's why, like, it's still sort of campy, right? Like, it's still a little over the top. Like, this story doesn't. It's silly, right? Like, no mobster is going to be like, well, we need this guy because he's good at karate, so we need another karate guy to come in to do this. Like that's silly, right? It doesn't matter because the action is so good. And
yeah.
when I tell you how surprised I was that Chuck Norris was really good and really quick, and honestly, like, I was like, that was really cool. Like, I was surprised by that. Like, he held his own with Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee knew it. That's why he hired him for this.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this guy is realistically at my level, right? So, this is the only time that Bruce Lee gets his ass kicked, you know?
Well, and I learned too there's a reason for that. And this is such, you set that up so good. It's such a great transition
Thanks.
or segue. Um, so we haven't really talked about it a lot in the past two episodes, but Bruce developed his own martial arts style called Jeet Kune Do, and it was more about not following one traditional style. It was more like the fighter adapting and being a little bit more freeform. Not being so strict and so adherent to a specific style or fight way. And apparently, the beginning of that fight with Chuck Norris, where he's getting his ass kicked, he's being a little bit more traditional.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he switches up his style and relaxes and adapts, that's when he starts kicking Chuck Norris's ass. And in the supplements, they say that like it's kind of Bruce's way of saying like, yeah, like this style I'm developing can work.
Mm-hmm.
But it also makes more sense too in the context of the story that Tung would adapt and be a little bit more freeform than try to take the more traditional approach against a guy who probably was very traditionally trained, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because
No, yeah.
again, you set me up for a really good segue with that.
No, I mean that's super interesting. I can see um where that came into play, and that's really cool. That's really interesting. Um, Chuck Norris. By the way, okay, okay. Can I just say that I don't think I've ever had a moment in my life
Uh-huh.
where I retroactively laughed really hard at a joke I didn't understand until now, which was
Uh-huh.
at the end of Dodgeball when Chuck Norris gives that thumbs up. He's fucking doing Way of the Dragon, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm laughing because I'm like, that was a reference to this, you know? Like it just made me laugh, and so I'm like retroactively laughing at a 22-year-old joke, and it's so like,
You
did you
know,
pick up on that, or did you already know that was a reference? I had no idea.
I was like, that seems familiar, but I'm not gonna lie. I kept quoting Dodgeball in my head, specifically Ben Stiller's line at the end of the movie, "Fucking Chuck Norris." Like
Sure.
every time he came on screen, that would go through my head, like fucking Chuck Norris. Uh, so I did kind of have Dodgeball on the brain, but
Okay.
if I'm going to be honest, I forgot that's what he did
Oh, okay.
in Dodgeball. That he gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, give
Uh,
a thumbs up, and I'm like, oh my god, like I cannot believe it. Like, you know, that's
well, and dude, and man, you're setting me up for some great segues.
what I'm here for.
So with the thumbs up, we didn't mention. Well, I mentioned in the synopsis the setting of Rome. I think is really interesting.
Mhm.
Um, and in the supplements, they say that apparently he initially wanted this to be a period piece in America.
Interesting.
But the budget was going to be too high for that,
Sure.
so they did it in Rome, and it said, and it also was the first time a Hong Kong production was ever in Rome, which is really cool too.
It was cool.
But I really like the setting of Rome because I feel like, as compared to the previous two movies, it really gives more context to sort of this fish out of water story that Bruce is trying to tell. Because, as far as we can tell, they're the only uh, Chinese people in Rome. You know, it's just this restaurant, and that's it. Um,
Well, and
and
that unbelievably flamboyant henchman. Jeez.
who was the interpreter in Fist of Fury? Because I was like, he looks so familiar. Um,
He just ramped it up this time. It was crazy this time.
I know it's like Bruce told him like, "Hey, you are truly a bootlicker in this one," and he's like,
Got
got
it.
it. I know exactly what to do.
It's insane.
Um, but I was telling Ashley, I was like, I really like the setting of Rome because, you know, in the Big Boss, it's Taiwan. With Fist of Fury, it's Shanghai, right? No, it's no, I think I'm right. I think it's
I think you're
Shanghai.
right. I think it was Shanghai.
This would be a perfect time if we had an intern to look
I
this
know.
shit up.
Yeah, if we had an intern.
Shanghai. Yeah, I was right. Um,
See, we don't need.
so it's really, I felt it was really refreshing to put Bruce Lee in a different setting. That's not. Again, I think it plays back to this. He's a fish out of water.
Mhm.
He's somewhere where his culture is not very, prevalent, especially with that scene with Chin where she tells him like, "Oh, it's really hard to get food like this out in Rome. Do you like it?" And he says, you know, "It's better in Hong Kong."
Yeah,
Uh,
of course it is.
you know, and I don't know. I found that really refreshing. That even Bruce was like, "No, I need to be this movie." Well, again, um, it was supposed to be in America, but like Bruce even was like, I don't want to be in Hong Kong. I don't want to be in Shanghai. I want somewhere different for this."
Yeah.
And I think it just adds so much more to the movie in terms of, again, the plot, but also seeing Bruce in a new locale, you know?
Well, and I also like that the culture stands out more, right? Because in this one, not only is he mentioning like Chinese myths like the dragon, he's, using it as a metaphor for his, for his fighting style when confronting some of the goons, right? But
Mm-hmm.
he's also, incorporated Chinese New Year in this movie, which I really liked. I was surprised not everybody was wearing red. That's fine, I guess. I guess it's not a super strict rule, but they were, they pass out the red envelopes, which is a tradition in Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought was really cool. And so he's bringing a lot of his culture and is his like persona, like where he comes from, like into this movie, which I thought was really cool. And it's not played for it's not played for laughs. It's not played for dramatic effect. It's just happening, right? Um, like the fact that it's Chinese New Year, like that didn't have to be in the movie, but I liked that he put it in.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I mean, again, I think Bruce, I don't want to speak for him, but I feel like he was really like, where could we really make our culture feel something special, but feel foreign to other people? We'll put
Yeah,
it
I
in
meant to
Rome.
look up if there is like a prevalent Chinese population in Rome or in Italy in general. Like I
I
don't
would,
think so, but I also don't know. So
yeah, I don't know either.
it
I
did
don't want
seem
to, I don't,
super out of place in Rome.
yeah,
It took me a minute to
yeah,
figure out where they were, as a matter of fact. Um,
yeah. It really threw me off the whole opening scene. And so finally I had to look it up. Like I wasn't even done with the soup scene. I'm like, I need to look up where the hell is he? Because, you know, um, I'm like, he's clearly not in China because there's
Clearly,
white people speaking English.
right?
So where the hell is
Yeah.
he? uh, and yeah, the first thing I see like in Rome. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's in Rome.
Like,
Um,
by the way, that soup scene was so ridiculous, uh, and it was hilarious. I mean, it was funny that he ordered so many soups.
and all he wanted was eggs.
Yeah, I'm sure
Uh,
there were eggs in the soup. Like some of them seemed very cream based.
well,
Um,
see, what's funny is, I'm not trying to knock Bruce's. I don't know who he had as his DP, But like, you know, when we see Bruce actually eating the soup, they seem very like thin and light. But
Yeah.
then when we see the hero shot of just his hand scooping it up, yeah, they're very thick and very
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Very
cream
viscous.
based. Yeah. So I wonder if maybe that was they just use those shots to like show you like yeah,
Sure.
like
Well, yeah.
yeah, but
I
then
mean,
like
they don't want me in all that anyway.
yeah.
Um,
Um um okay. So I want to mention something about Bruce again, his directorial debut and his only directorial
right.
film. So apparently his perfectionism was so high with the film that not only did they run over budget, but they ran over time. It was supposed to come out in the summer of 1972 because, like American audiences, movies do better in the summertime in Hong Kong, you know,
Hmm.
relative to 1972. The movie didn't come out until Christmas of
Whoops.
1972. And Bruce was so proud of the film that at the premiere, he leaned over to his brother and said, you know, what did you think? And his brother goes, I liked the music. Um, and Bruce, you know, it's so crazy to hear that he was really disappointed in the film because I really enjoyed it. I thought
I
it
thought
was
it was
great.
great.
I thought,
It was much better than the other two. I thought.
well, he apparently was very disappointed in it. He felt like he really let, I'm assuming his fans down. And then Raymond Chow, I believe the producer on the film, yeah, Raymond Chow, went behind Bruce's back and sold the rights to America for the
Mhm.
film to come over here. And Bruce didn't want it to come over here, especially after he asked his brother for that,
Yeah.
you know, lovely review. Um, yeah, he didn't want the film coming over here because he was really disappointed. But again, I think it's so crazy that he was so disappointed because I loved it. And I think it has had a big impact on pop culture as a whole. Because again, like I mentioned last week, you know, when you think Bruce Lee, you think, you know, really high pitch squeals and really fast movements.
Yeah.
And I feel like The Way of the Dragon really solidified that as well. And his
Yeah.
nunchucks.
Oh, those yeah, double nunchucks was so rad. Um, but no, like I think everything was better about this. I think that the fight
Yeah.
choreography was better. Every fight was better. I
Mm-hmm.
thought the cinematography was better. It looked better. I
Agreed.
thought the pacing was great. It was a tight 90 minutes. Um,
Yeah.
we didn't get bogged down in anything too boring or insignificant, which I thought was I thought I appreciated that. And
Yeah.
you know, it's just I don't know, like, but of course I'm comparing it to these other two movies, right? Um, but yeah, I don't see how he could be disappointed, and I don't see how people couldn't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're just not into martial arts, you know, like his brother is probably like an accountant or something, and he's like, I'm not super into that, you know.
Like
Uh,
why did you bring me here, man?
like then it's not for him, right? But
Mm-hmm.
um, I think for someone who it's their first movie that they directed and wrote, um, it's great. And again, the fight choreography is so rad, and we'll get to the final fight choreography here in a minute because I have stuff for that. But
Oh, for sure. So hang on, I wanted to look it up real quick. So it was Peter Lee,
mhm.
Bruce's younger brother. Peter was a meteorologist
I was so close.
and an electrical engineer.
I was close. I was in
Um,
STEM, but I wasn't in the science part of STEM. I was in math.
yeah. Um, and I hate to sound morbid, but he lived a little bit longer than his brother. He passed away in 2008.
Oh wow, look at
Yeah.
that.
But yeah. Okay. So on to the final fight,
Yeah.
dude. Holy Jesus.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
it's rad, right? So it's so good. It took up nearly a quarter of the script, right? Just the fight choreography for this, right? And it took
really.
him, it says here, 45 hours to finish, to shoot everything, because it had to be perfect, right? Like you were saying, like he's such a
Mm-hmm.
perfectionist, and this is like the big climax. This is the big fight. This is what we've been anticipating for the whole movie, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, some of these little fights are fine, and like he's obviously kicking so much ass, but we need an antagonist. We need someone who can hold his own with Bruce Lee. And yeah, when Chuck Norris, in that fight, I mean, it's incredible, and it's so fascinating to watch, and it's so entertaining. And
Mm-hmm.
for a minute there, I go, maybe I misremembered. Maybe Bruce Lee does die at the end of this one. Maybe, um, maybe Chuck Norris does win. I don't remember. Like, because it was close. And
Yeah.
however, Chuck Norris did say later in an interview, he goes, "In a fair fight, there is absolutely no way I could beat Bruce Lee. Like, Bruce Lee is too good."
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, but it was, you know, I mean, what's there to be said? Go watch the fight if you don't want to sit through a whole movie, because um it's incredibly entertaining, and the fight choreography is amazing, and the direction is really good, and like I mean everything's good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, agreed. And and I love that it is, when I was doing a little bit more research, it said that, like, in the description, like, yeah, and it all culminates in this 10-minute fight. And I'm like, is it really 10 minutes? And yeah, it is. It's literally the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Um and and when I first read the description in the Criterion of this is what it says: an epic gladiatorial death match with Chuck Norris in the Coliseum. I'm like, gladiatorial death match. I don't know how I feel about that. And you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong. That describes that fight perfectly. Um, and I think that's why Bruce wanted to set it in the Coliseum, to kind of feel like
Yeah,
a gladiator death match. You've
absolutely.
got this really good, and and Bruce does something really good with the setup. When we first meet Colt, we get to see him in action before the fight,
Hmm.
so we know, like, okay, yeah, he can hold his own.
It's really good.
and and it just makes it like that much better to actually see them fighting together, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know yeah. um and I also love that Bruce leaves a beat in the film for him to mourn Colt, because he
Yeah,
recognizes, like, hey, this guy had some talent. I
agreed.
didn't want to have to kill him.
Right.
um and I like that Bruce kept that in. I like that. He kept that beat for Tongue to honor Colt, even though it's like, hey, you lost, but you put
Of
up a
course,
hell of
like
a fight.
it's respect. It's like what you said.
Hmm.
It's the honorable thing to do. Like he's like the only reason he's there to fight Bruce Lee anyway, or Tang, right? Is because he was hired to do so. Like it's not like he has anything personally against
Yeah.
Tang or his family or his friends or whatever. So yeah, I mean it was professional. It was just
Hmm.
business. It wasn't personal. And he was very talented and very good. And so like I agree that I like that moment of him respecting Colt by covering his face with his gi. Which, by the way, I mean, listen, it's a little silly. Um, but again, I don't know much about like traditional martial arts or traditional karate or anything like that. that you would wear that to like a street fight, basically, you know. But I don't know.
I think it was also to. I wonder if he asked Chuck, like, all right, what do you want to wear? And I'm sure Chuck was probably like, I think it would be better if I rolled up in a gi. And Bruce is
Well,
like,
so do the other two guys. The other two guys had
yeah.
geese, you know. So
I wonder if it's kind of like a, fighting in, traditional clothes would just be more constricting. I don't know.
well, I don't know because I really appreciate that Bruce Lee has his characters just wear the same thing because like he's wearing something very similar that he wore in the other two movies. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this sort of like traditional like Chinese everyday wear, you know. Um, I mean, I wish I knew what it was called. But it seems like he's has a full range of motion with um with those clothes. And can I also say, by the way, compared to the other two movies, Bruce Lee is so much more unbelievably shredded in this
Yeah.
one. Like like he's in his hotel room um or in that apartment or whatever, like doing a little bit of morning training, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. That was something else they brought up, which is that he wanted to be, Bruce was a bodybuilder, before he became an actor,
Did know
but he
that.
always wanted a more lean physique, but also to be able to like see
Yeah.
like every muscle. Yeah, dude, when he fucking, the guy says it in the supplement, but like when he does the whole, like when he,
Yeah.
flexes out those back, Jesus
I know.
Christ.
It's insane.
Like seeing guys on like Instagram or TikTok now, like do that shit. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cringe. But like when Bruce Lee did it, I was like, dude, Jesus fucking
Whoa.
Christ. Yeah. But see, and I think the difference is with Bruce, it's a little bit more, because again, he's more lean. He's not like,
Exactly. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, he's not like Tom Hardy in The Dark Knight. Um,
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference. I think that's why, yeah, it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And every time he flexed, dude, like you could see like every like
It was crazy.
muscle perfectly.
Yeah.
It's okay to take it back to kind of like, you're gonna be so mad at me.
Probably.
It was truly like almost like an anime character come to life, that because he's just
Sure.
perfectly, like you can see every like definition in his muscles, and like, dude, Jesus
I know it was
Christ,
nuts
dude.
because it's such a stark difference between the last movie and this movie.
Yeah.
And it could just be, it might also just be the cinematography and the lighting too. Like maybe the other lighting in the previous film just sort of washed him out. Maybe.
Maybe.
But this one, it was like precise lighting for this specifically. But I don't think so. I think that he just got in better shape for this one for some reason. And so did Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris looked great. I read that they both sort of bulked up more for this to make them seem more intimidating. Worked. Uh, you know, I felt intimidated by both of them. I think for Chuck Norris, it was mostly the shoulder hair, but
Yeah.
that was very intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's God. I don't know. Like, I can't even stand to have shoulder hair like that. Like, dude.
I
Like
couldn't imagine.
I literally have a dedicated trimmer to trim
Oh, nice.
all the hair. Yeah, dude. Fuck that shit. Um I literally, dude, when he took off his gi and then turned around, I was just like,
Like,
huh.
no.
No.
No way.
Like, because like I said, the chest hair was fine. I was like, all
It was
right,
fine.
like, okay,
All right
he's
on.
showing, he's like, yeah, okay. And then he turns around. I'm like,
That was rad. It was insane. I was like, yeah,
It's
the body
like
hair is crazy, but whatever.
it's like he that's why he grew the beard, because he was like, I got all this hair right here. I should maybe put some up here.
Have to.
He also has really thin lips, so I think maybe that's why too.
You gotta you just cover the face, man. You know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, with that being said, buddy, are you ready to wrap up?
I am. This movie is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, so far it's my favorite one. We'll see what next week brings, but we only have 2 more after this, but this has been fun. I'm enjoying this because they're getting better, you know.
Agreed, man. Agreed. I said back in the Big Boss 2 weeks ago, like, I think we're gonna get a real education here, and agreed. Every movie has progressively gotten better.
Yeah.
And I agree. This one's also my favorite so far. But I think that's all going to change next week, man.
Yeah, maybe.
So everyone, like I said, I kind of gave a pre-tease before the tease. So Bruce's main goal with The Way of the Dragon was to build up enough of a reputation where Hollywood would finally want him. Because something we haven't really talked about throughout the series is Bruce being rejected a lot by Hollywood. That's how he ended up as Kano in Green Hornet, because he was originally supposed to be the main character, but then he got relegated to the side character. And so he wanted Hollywood to come calling. And with The Way of the Dragon, Hollywood did finally come calling. With technically his final film. So next week, everyone, we are discussing 1973's Enter the Dragon, which this is the one that is synonymous with Bruce Lee. I think the reason why it's synonymous, I think, one, because I've heard it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But two, it is technically his final film. It was released 6 days after his passing.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, apparently I was doing some reading. He was doing ADR for the film and collapsed in the middle of recording, and they immediately rushed him to the hospital. But I think the other reason why it's so synonymous with Bruce and his story is that it was kind of the marriage of both things that we've been talking about, which is Bruce's love of perfectionism and martial arts with wanting to make a Hollywood film.
Yeah.
And to kind of bring his culture to America with an American company, because Enter the Dragon, I believe, was produced by Warner Brothers.
Yes. That's correct.
So it's, this is a big production.
Yeah.
Especially for Bruce. And, man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling you and I are both going to change our minds and
we're going to trade up, you think?
And say that Enter the Dragon is our favorite one. Because, man, I'm excited, bro.
You might be right. Yeah, me too.
I'm excited because this is no, it's next. It's the final episode where we get the iconic yellow jumpsuit. Yellow
suit, yeah. It's a Game of Death.
It's next week. But man, I'm excited. I can't. Next week can't get here faster, bro. Like, I enjoyed Way of the Dragon, but shit, like, Enter the Dragon, dude. Like, let's fucking go, dude. All right, everyone. Well, we hope you enjoyed part 3 of our end of season series with The Way of the Dragon. We'll see you next week for part 4, Enter the Dragon.